You tell yourself you should leave. You promise that next time you will. But somehow you never do. You find yourself back in the same place, explaining away the same pain, trying to make sense of the same patterns. You know this person is hurting you. You know they won't change. And yet something in you stays. You think it's love, but it's not. It's attachment. It's the familiar ache that you've learned to confuse with connection. You don't stay because you like the pain. You stay because you fear what comes after it, the emptiness, the silence, the loneliness that feels unbearable. Pain is predictable. Loneliness feels infinite. So you choose the pain you know over the void you don't understand. You stay because leaving feels like dying, because walking away feels like erasing part of yourself. You've built your identity around being the one who tries, the one who loves enough for both. You think that if you give enough, they will finally see your worth. But love doesn't work like that. Love given as proof is never received as truth. That's why, even when you're hurting, you still chase their validation. It feels like survival, not choice. People often mistake staying in a painful relationship for weakness, but it's not weakness. It's wiring. Your nervous system has been trained to find safety in chaos. When you've lived long enough in emotional uncertainty, peace feels foreign. You don't trust it. You crave intensity because it mirrors the instability you grew up with. When things are calm, you start waiting for the next explosion. You feel uneasy when there's no tension. And when the pain finally comes, you feel something almost like relief. At least it feels familiar. At least you know what to do with it. There's also a dangerous illusion of control that keeps you trapped. Deep down, you believe that if you just love hard enough, you can fix it. You can heal them. You can make the relationship finally work. That illusion keeps hope alive, and hope can be more addictive than love itself. It convinces you that leaving means giving up, when in truth, staying is the real surrender, the surrender of your peace, your boundaries, your self-respect. You tell yourself they're complicated, that they've been through so much. You see their pain and think if you can love them enough, you'll save them. But love doesn't save people who refuse to see themselves. You can't be their healer if they keep reopening the wound. What you call compassion often turns into self-erasure. You forget that empathy without boundaries becomes self-destruction, so you start walking on eggshells. You speak softly. You hold your breath when they're angry. You apologize for things you didn't do. That's how emotional manipulation works. It confuses you until you begin to gaslight yourself. And every time you think of leaving, they sense it. They pull you back with just enough tenderness to make you stay. A sweet message, a sudden apology, a promise to change. But the change never lasts. The cycle resets, and you're back in the same storm, telling yourself this time it will be different. You stay because you still believe in their potential. You stay because you remember the person they were in the beginning, the one who made you feel seen and special. It's about grieving the fantasy that if you love someone enough, they will change. The truth is, people don't change because they're loved harder. They change because they choose to, and if they haven't chosen to yet, your suffering won't be the thing that makes them start. The real healing begins when you realize you deserve consistency more than chemistry, peace more than passion, and respect more than promises. It's learning to see that love isn't meant to drain you, it's meant to hold you. But underneath that craving is something deeper, the emptiness that the relationship was distracting you from. If you can face that emptiness instead of running back to pain, you will begin to heal. The silence that once scared you will become the space where you rebuild yourself. And when someone new comes along, someone who speaks softly and shows up consistently, you might not recognize it as love at first. It will feel calm. It will feel safe. It won't make your heart race in panic. But that's how love is supposed to feel. You'll remember how small you made yourself to fit into someone else's comfort, and you'll feel both grief and relief. Because the truth is, you never needed them to choose you. You only needed to choose yourself. And when you finally do, when you finally stop fighting for people who won't fight for you, you'll realize that the love you've been searching for was never out there. It was the quiet strength growing inside you all along, waiting for the day you stopped mistaking pain for proof. Because staying may feel like love, but leaving is the beginning of freedom. And freedom, no matter how lonely it feels at first, is the purest form of love you will ever find.